All right, and just talk about like wherever you want to start at. If you want to talk about the scene in general, and then we can go from there.
Let's see. The scene in general.
I'd say that the scene has come together a lot more. And it's sectioned off a lot. Like a lot of people have their own groups and they intermingle here and there. But since specifically two specific groups, the kind of like the Newport crew and the Cincinnati crew, have kind of combined since Dave died and have like basically joined forces. Whereas a lot of times we would play shows together and stuff, and we support each other, but it was more of a separate thing. And now it's way more combined,
more tight knit.
Yeah, since Dave has died, it's literally, it has brought a lot of people together that would otherwise probably just move forward in the same general direction, just
separately.
More side by side, but separately.
Yeah.
So I think that if anything, when it comes to the scene, it's for me, it's coming together. It's coming closer together, and everybody seems to be more aware of what it means to them now.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is basically the all-out, goal to get everybody together. But such and such something like this to make it happen.
Yeah. So when did you guys first start doing shows here?
It was October
31st, 2011.
Nice.
It was the first show at Whittler. It was a Halloween show. We didn't even live here yet, and there was like impromptu bands, people that we all just ended up playing. We ripped the ceiling out. We tore down the walls, literally, while we were on playing, and it was really good. And it was like it actually did mark the start to a really good thing, and it's been consistent for the last almost 3 years now. We've been throwing shows once a month, and the attendance has gotten higher. We've hosted great bands, like we've had Reagan Youth here, all the other local stuff that's gone on. People have been very supportive. I would like to combine some art with the shows, but we're moving along. We've done a lot of construction to the house. We've done a lot of construction to the bands. Like, it's been a work in progress, and it is still progressing. So that's good.
And I'm glad I can splice this together because I always forget.
Yeah, it's good to be able to edit and all that.
Like, hooray for B-roll.
It's just like the Zavilles. We take 10 minutes in between songs because we fucking want to.
Yeah, it's like, take a breather. Trying to think of other questions. Like, what about the memorial shows?
What about them? What do you mean?
Like,
Sweet.
Yeah.
It was thrown together very well. Like, Landis books everything. He does a really good job about getting all of the bands together and making everything work, coordinating things, which is always a huge behind-the-scenes endeavor that is rarely showcased. People just assume that it all just kind of comes together, and that's really not the case. But in the case of the memorials, I think that it was obviously you don't expect someone to die.
Right.
So, in very short amount of time, with the help of other people, Brian was able to put together a really good list of bands that brought out and showcased the things that the people themselves, because the first that they were interested in. The first one we did obviously was art.
Yeah.
It turned out really well, considering we didn't even really know any of those people at all.
Yeah.
And it was the thing with art. It wasn't a benefit; it was a memorial. It was for us all to be together and to celebrate his life and the music that he loved. And that worked out really well. Landis did a really good job bringing that together. And the same thing when it came to Nick's. It was really awesome. I was hoping that we would have had one from Acclaim here.
Yeah.
But I can't say that. Abby and Matt, they did a stupendous job. They really came through, and so did everybody else. McLean had a small army that I don't even think Landis said he wasn't even aware of. So
Yeah.
I think that was cool.
Yeah, I think one thing I want to say is when we set out, as far as Whittler's concerned, when we set out to do this, the reason why we did it was because we seemed like there was something missing. It wasn't being represented in the music community in the Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky area. And we've accomplished that. And this was before any of our friends died. They were supporters before they died. And you can see, if you attend any of the shows, the type of support we have. And that we really did need this,
Yeah.
you know. So, I mean, I hope that we can edit this to where you have some type of continuity where it actually flows
Yeah,
and it makes
yeah.
sense and it's actually
will.
informative. You know, I'm trying to think of some other things that I really want to say as far as what you asked me, like about the scene and, you know, our efforts and what we've done so far.
Yeah, because it seems like when we had a good venue, a good like home place to play, it got shut down and turned into a hipster bar.
Absolutely. And it happened in Northern Kentucky.
Yeah.
Like Mad Hatter, they kind of catered to what I'm talking about, like the efforts that we're speaking of. And then that shut down, Something Malone shut down in Cincinnati and Clifton.
Top
Top
Cats
Cats, yeah.
shut down. The Blue Rock. I mean,
Change
literally,
names.
they said, this is what Mike told me, the guy that was renting or leasing the place.
Yeah.
They were like basically the people that owned the property, there was an undesired crowd in there.
Oh, of
So that's
course.
the reason why they refused to renew the lease. They're like, either you change the crowd, or we're not gonna let you renew your lease. Which I understand to a certain degree. There are issues that come along with underground music and things like that. Oh my God, somebody knocking here. Sorry.
Keep it rolling.
Come on in.
Hey, come in. Perfect timing.
Perfect.
Join the convo.
MTV's here.
Yeah.
You guys know.
And pop squat.
Right here behind me.
Okay. Get in here. Look at these beautiful faces. Get down there.
Hey,
Pop squat.
These are some of our counterparts in
Here.
crime here.
Come in here more.
There's Mr. Mowgli, Mr. Thoughtful.
There
Let's
we
see.
go.
So what are the main things you want to touch on here? The scene.
Yeah, the scene.
Our role we play in it.
Yeah.
The bands, the memorials.
And the memorials.
Right.
Yeah.
So which one should we stick with for the? You know what I'm saying? We do one at a time. Which one should we?
Sure.
really go on first.
It's you. It's up to you, really, however you want to do
Try to
it.
think of like how your project's going to come out here, like what they're really looking for, you know what I mean, and what is it that they're really looking for?
I mean, just like an organic conversation, just talk
okay,
about,
cool,
just
okay.
you can ramble if you want. That works. That's
Right.
probably works
I just
even
want to
better.
make sure
So.
that they don't watch it and get bored and be like, these
Nah.
guys can't fucking even talk English.
No.
I can't talk English. English.
But
Okay, let's see.
Well, I like to say, I think that when it comes to Whitler specifically as a venue, and this is our house. This is where we live. You know, like most of it is dedicated to music. We just put aside a spot to sleep. Literally, everyone here is the same. Even Jaime, he doesn't even play music, but he's always been supportive of the music scene. I think that when it comes to this house in particular, with Krusty, and there's a whole other sea of people, of old schoolers that have been in it a lot longer than I have, that have been, you know, they played at Sutsy's, they played at Top Cats, they played all the local places, the Bogarts, all the places that built the actual punk scene in this city. And they haven't gone away. They've just perfected and honed their skills. And now we've also, instead of going from place to place and letting people come in that are misrepresenting the music scene, people that are literally just coming to the bar and shooting up and not buying drinks and not supporting the bands and literally just like, hey, look at my mohawk and my jacket, like that is not here.
right.
I mean, you come here, you could look however you want, you could be whatever you want, as long as you're respectful to each other and you're progressive about moving, you want to move forward with music. Because I don't want to be represented by people that, I'm not a junkie. I'm completely against it. It's taken away a lot of the things in my life. I understand that drugs have inspired a lot of the music that I really enjoyed, but I'm not for that.
It's not the focus of the.
Right, I'm not
Right.
for facilitating anything like that. And I think that this house represents a place where you can come and be a complete misfit. You can like all the nerdiest things, you can like all the best music or the worst music. As long as you just are in it to have fun and be supportive of one another. And I think that this house has, over the last couple of years, we've epitomized that in the way that we've basically created a home that is safe for punk rock.
Well, it's not that's that. It's just I think it's the individual has been kind of how would you say like processed out of what was used to be the underground.
Yeah.
You know, so trying to like make it less clicky and that way everybody can come in and get their shot at having a friend and that friend being somebody that doesn't fit into like the mainstream and you find a home and I don't know, I can't really put it in the right words, but what do you guys got to say on this? Anything? Except for love, yeah, you look good. Nothing?
I think there's like people from the outside just have this like, I guess, concept that it's like some like dark bad like thing against their realm of society, and it's like it could be a whole nother thing. And I think that's what having shows here and what the whole house in general represents is the like fuck you to the what mainstream people think that we are. So
Well, I think it represents the alternative, to mainstream culture. That's why that's my hope is that people see that.
Yeah.
That it's the alternative. It's not just music. It's just a lifestyle entirely. It could be your clothes. It could be your diet. It could be your music interest. It could be anything that basically you do different. It's like as long as it's not some like racist bullshit or anything that has to do with any type of bigotry, you're accepted here. Basically, with Open Art, it's free. We cover all the costs. We try to encourage people to participate. If they want to have a night here, as long as we, like I said, as long as it's not any of those things I just listed, like racism, bigotry, anything like that, of any form, we'll provide the place for them to host their own event.